In a quiet neighborhood in Boston, there was an old gray house at the end of Willow Street. The house looked forgotten. The paint was peeling, the windows were dusty, and the garden had grown wild with weeds. But the strangest thing about that house was the old woman who lived inside. Her name was Mrs. Helen Carter. No one in the neighborhood knew much about her. She had lived there for more than 30 years, yet almost nobody had spoken to her. She never attended neighborhood events. She never invited anyone inside. And she almost never left the house. Every evening around 9 p.m., people noticed something unusual. A dim yellow light would turn on in the upstairs window, and the shadow of Mrs. Carter could be seen slowly walking across the room. Children in the neighborhood began whispering stories about her. Some said she was hiding something. Some said the house was haunted. One boy named Jake, who was 16 years old, became very curious. One night he told his friends, "I'm going to find out what's really going on in that house." His friends dared him to knock on the door. So one cold October night, Jake walked up the cracked stone path leading to the house. The porch creaked under his feet. For a moment he hesitated. Then he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then slowly the door opened. Standing in the doorway was Mrs. Carter. Her white hair was messy, and her pale blue eyes looked tired but calm. "Yes," she said quietly. Jake suddenly felt nervous. I just wanted to see if you were okay," he said. For a moment, the old woman stared at him silently. Then something unexpected happened. She smiled. "Well," she said softly, "no one has asked me that in a very long time." She opened the door wider and invited Jake inside. The house was dark but surprisingly clean. Old photographs covered the walls. Most of them showed young soldiers in military uniforms. Jake looked around curiously. "Were these your family?" he asked. Mrs. Carter nodded slowly. "My husband and my son," she said. She walked to a small table and picked up a photograph. "My husband served in the army many years ago," she explained. "After he passed away, my son joined the military too." Her voice became quiet. "He never came home." Jake suddenly understood something. The reason Mrs. Carter stayed inside the house was not because she was strange. It was because the house was the last place filled with memories of the people she loved. For years, loneliness had quietly surrounded her. Jake felt a deep sadness in his chest. The next day, he told his parents about Mrs. Carter. Soon, something beautiful began to happen. Neighbors started visiting her. Some brought food. Some helped clean the garden. Children sometimes sat on the porch and listened to her stories about the past. Slowly, the house that once looked abandoned began to feel alive again. The yellow light still turns on every evening at 9 p.m. But now, sometimes you can hear laughter coming from inside. And the old woman who once lived completely alone finally realized something important. Sometimes the scariest-looking houses don't hide dark secrets. Sometimes they just hide lonely hearts waiting for someone to knock on the door. Red Heart.